Alright, I think I'm live here. So, good evening everyone. Impromptu little stream as I had a little bit of this idea I've been working on, or brewing on in my head, because I like the old Warcraft 3 game from the old PC golden days of Blizzard. And the heroes for Warcraft 3 were always some of my favorite, and I've already made a free class that I put up on drive-through for free, the Shadow Dancer class for the orcs. That was my favorite champion by far. Actually, the big giant bug thing and the lich for the undead are pretty awesome too. I like those a lot. But yes, I already did the troll hero, and I was like really wanted to do the Blademaster class because I thought there was some cool design elements maybe in there for a Shadowdark class as well. So I thought we could design live, maybe see if anybody wants to hop in and do this. I'll do it for about an hour, and then I'll put it up for free on drive-through for anyone who wants to take a gander and play with it and see how well it goes. So it should be a good time. Now, yeah, the Blademaster, of course, the name Blademaster. What task is there? That's what that character running around and says when he does stuff, and he is, yeah, really, what this class is good at, single target damage, if I remember. Well, he also does like a spin thing. I guess his ultimate is a spin dealy thingy, like hurricane deal. But he also does, he has innate, like, critical damage, and I've already kind of abused this wizard spell already in other classes I've made, but I just think it's kind of a cool ability for people to kind of go frontline a little bit, is the mirror image ability. And that's straight up one of the Blademaster's abilities, that he can create a bunch of copies of himself, and Shadowdark already has a spell for mirror image that I think works pretty cool, and a very minimalistic description. So, but I've already stolen that for some of my other classes, actually, that same ability. So I'm probably repeat offender for stealing it, reappropriating that same thing over and over, but whatever. We can figure out how well it will do for this class, I think, as well. So I guess without further ado, I guess I'll just go ahead, and I've prepared, I have this like layout that I already reuse over and over again. And you can kind of see where I just copy and paste my older ones that I've already done before. This is up on Drive-Thru RPG for free if you ever want to go check it out. And let's see if we go back to Blademaster here, and I try to have some notes that I need to kind of grab for its design, really, so that y'all could see. Because of course I could just do this, but if, try to make this interactive for y'all. I thought I would go ahead and pull up all this stuff so you can kind of see exactly how this stuff worked. And so, yeah, so if we go over here to, I have some of the Warcraft 3 tabs pulled up and already, just to kind of get some ideas for making a class. And like I said, yeah, we'll do this for about an hour and just see what all we can make up on the spot and make sure that it's appropriately balanced, and then give it out to the community for free. So okay, so yeah, here's like the main ability that I was talking about, okay? So you got this, hero here, very much like kind of samurai, but like barbarian samurai, if I could kind of pitch it that way. And he, from the orc side, and the pictures in the thumbnail. There's some more pictures in here for all that stuff, but yeah, here we go. Yeah, he's kind of small there, but there's the Blademaster in action from Warcraft 3. And so each hero usually has like 4 abilities. One of them usually is like a passive that you can upgrade when you level up your little dude. But otherwise, you've got active abilities, and so some of these we can convert to passive. Some of them we can convert to like 3 times per day, or the main sort of bread and butter abilities, or a roll for ability, maybe like a ranger, something of that nature. But I think, the Roski die is kind of like a samurai thing as well, but, they're a little more assassin-y. Not that Blademaster can't be assassin-y per this one ability I'll show you in a second. Okay. But yeah, I want him to be a little more, front line. I think the Roskadai from Curse Scroll 2 only has a D6 HP. So I may buff Blademaster there a little bit. And make him a little more front line, if we can. The fun thing about Blademaster is getting those criticals off, and, maybe that's sort of in sketchy waters for math here for Shadowdark, but maybe if we give him the right sort of squishiness, we limit his armor to something only like leather armor. Because, yeah, look at all these renditions of the Blademaster, he's, this one he looks a little more decked out in some samurai armor here. But yeah, if we go to the OG one, the one that I showed you earlier, the one on the picture here, yeah, look, he's shirtless. Look at that. There's no armor, no chainmail. He's just wearing those big giant, beads on his neck or whatever. And yeah, some sandals, bro. Yeah, he's barbarian samurai. You get what I'm saying here? Not like no armored samurai. What is that? I want a shirtless samurai, okay? So yeah, we're gonna limit his armor, so he's not gonna be, full-on fighter or Knight of Idris or whatever. But he'll probably have some more access to health in the Roskadai, but less, maybe less abilities. Make sure we don't also tread too much on the Roskadai. Although that one's probably hard to beat since they have the Black Lotus thing, which is super unique and fun. But let's go back to the abilities that we need to grab here, okay? Or the overall themes that I want to capture. Do they have information? Yeah, they use known for their mirror image and critical strike. And yeah, he's okay. So here we go. So here's his abilities that we're going to try to convert over here, okay? We have Wind Walk, allows the Blademaster to become invisible and move faster for a set amount of time. And then when he attacks a unit to break invisibility, he will deal bonus damage. Okay. So becomes invisible and then deals bonus damage. I'm going to be typing so terribly. Invisible. Then deal extra damage. Okay. And then we got mirror image. That one will be easy to do. And it's just a matter of these roll 4 abilities and just endlessly do it. Or should we just cap it as, you can just do it 3 times per day. Limit how many, and that way they got to be sort of careful with how they spend it. Open to suggestions. So it confuses the enemy by creating illusions of the Blademaster and dispelling all magic. Oh, dispelling all magic from the Blademaster. I'm not sure if that can be snuck in there somehow. But we can write mirror image. I think that's self-explanatory. Alright, critical strike. This is one of his passives, and it's when you first select it, it starts off at giving a 15% chance that the Blademaster will do more damage. Right? Now this is a video game, so yeah, we're not going to increase it in this capacity at all, but I have some ideas. So yeah, critical strike. We'll write that. Critical strike. I know I put passives down here, but just don't worry about that. And here's his Blade Storm, and this is like every single hero has a go supernova ability where they turn into a dragon tornado or 1,000 mosquitoes or whatever, and in this case the Blademaster, he just turns into like a tornado of blades. Causes a blade storm of destructive force around the Blademaster, rendering him immune to magic and dealing 110 damage per second to nearby enemy land units. Yeah, so he just spins around really fast and just attacks everything around him. Now I don't know if this is quite, if this would be the sort of number 2 result for the Shadowdark, because in Shadowdark every time you level up you randomly roll for your character trait or feat. Sometimes it's just a stat increase in case you don't know, and sometimes if you rolled Snake Eyes then you're going to get like kind of a cool little capstone ability or special ultimate. Like for the barbarians, you can become invulnerable. For my Shadow Dancer class, I just ripped off the Shadow Dancer ultimate here, the same equivalent, and his was the oh, what's this? Oh, I can't even remember the top of my head, like Mumbo Jumbo or Mr. Big Voodoo or something like that, Mr. Big Bad Voodoo, and it just makes all allies around you invulnerable for 3 rounds, right? For other base classes here, and yeah, we got the other Shadowdark stuff pulled up, so we can just go to the OG stuff and make sure we're not breaking stuff, and I'll just show you what I mean. And so yeah, when you level up, you roll 2d6, and if you get the snake eyes, 2 1s, you'll get a total of 2. And for the wizard, you get one random magic item. It's kind of cool. I've seen somebody roll that before. It was always kind of neat. For a thief class, you get advantage on initiative rolls, and for this one, they re-roll it if it's a duplicate. So I don't know if Bladestorm is going to be, this one here, or if it's just going to be some other nuke ability here somewhere. I think I don't know, because I have ideas on what this needs to be too, and maybe Bladesword will just be an ability here. Yeah, I really want to know what's the proper, opportunity or protocol for choosing an ability, as far as like, oh, I want it to be just, as long as you can keep casting it, hitting that DC, then you can keep using that ability, or you just get like 3 times per day. And let me see, I thought, is it Ross Gadian, Curse Scroll number 2. Let's see what he's got. Yeah, so see, he's got Smoke Step. 3 times per day he can teleport within near. Oh, this does not use your actions. Very nice. But yeah, so this is essentially like the wizard's Misty Step. Obviously, he can't do it infinitely. He can only do it 3 times per day. So he's sort of limited in that fact. But it's reliable. Like there's never a chance he won't do it on the first time, right? So that, I guess this makes it a little more. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting how sometimes they'll. It's going to be a DC to do it successfully, or if it, yeah, like I said here, you just get 3 charges per day. And so, yeah, do we want this Bladestorm thing? Because definitely the, I think for the wind walk ability, the go invisible thing might need to be a certain amount of charges per day. We'll maybe have to look at I need to go back and check the hobbits or the halflings invisibility trait. See how that invisibility clause lines up exactly. Okay. Yeah, so but once again, we're checking here against the other official classes to make sure that we're using this as a good guide to the numbers and idea that we have for this conversion here, okay? Languages. I'm not sure if Bladestorm person would know anything else. Yeah, and some important. It's always good to not be totally combat focused either. I got to figure out some little role play here to put in there as well. All right. So, and like I said, Bladestorm, and maybe something like minimum uses, or maybe is it just something that a couple times per day you can just attack all close enemies 3 times per day? Maybe something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Just 3 times per day, you can just choose to just get a attack roll everything that's within close distance of you. So that can be kind of neat. Okay, and let's see. Now the point is that do they get with this wind walk thing? Maybe just becoming invisible, much like the Ross guy can just 3 times per day use a free Misty Step. Maybe this thing can just be 3 times per day. Deal 3 times per day become invisible. So yeah, I think that'll be kind of cool. And then what if we just make the critical strike? It's passive, and it's like with all blades. Maybe that was kind of my thought, is that all blades with the Blademaster, increases their critical range from 19 to 20, and like maybe that's against Shadowdark philosophy. I don't know. You have to let me know here in your chat if that's sort of breaking Shadowdark sacred ground here. increasing the crit range of things, because I thought that would be a cool capstone. Is that if you ever get those snake eyes for leveling up this class, if you get snake eyes, you can increase that critical range again. And I think that would be kind of neat. I think people would really enjoy that. And I think it kind of balance as far as effectiveness of the character. We'll have to see. I'll let it all out here. Alright. So I think we got... So I think that's everything I've laid out for here. Do they have anything else here in this? Okay. We're just going to read here from the Warcraft 3 little wiki here and see if there's anything interesting. Though their numbers are few, the seasoned Blademasters represent an elite fighting force within the Horde. These skilled swordsmen were once part of the ill-fated Burning Blade clan, which consumed itself in the throes of demonic corruption. With their clan scattered and broken, the proud Blademasters swore a grim oath to free themselves and their brethren from demonic control once and for all. So maybe they would know diabolic. And yeah, see, they've even got a bunch of like very samurai sounding names, you know, Mikasa, Saburo, Akinos, Yoshura, or Yoshura, Daisho. Yeah, really. Let's see, they, not much about their lore here. Is there anything else in this one, maybe? Nope. Judging by the ancient Blademaster, the way of the Blademaster was already an ancient one years before the forming of the Old Horde. The Blademaster, Lantressor of the Blade, was notably among the Old Horde forces that invaded Azeroth, where he would serve under both War Chief Blackhand and Orgrim Doomhammer during the First and Second Wars before returning to home. And then we get the same thing. Masters of Stealth and Guile, they value personal honor above all else. So, once again, yeah, try not to shred too hard on that Araskadai subterfuge, covertness. I thought we would need to make this one a little more, you know, run in there and sort of just be intimidating. But yeah, still be able to employ all those sort of deception abilities on the battlefield, but yeah, differently than the teleporting Araskadai. Let's go see what other powders they get from their Black Lotus, because once again, I want to say I don't take too many things from this thing. Let's see if we can remain original, at least away from the official stuff. Okay. So yeah, here's all the really crazy stuff that you can get with the Black Lotus talents. Let's make sure we don't see anything. Let's see if I want to use mirror image and invisibility. I bet there's an invisibility in here. Deal damage. Can't. That's kind of invisible. Yeah, you can make a creature force a check, and then if it fails, it can't see or hear you. Okay. Once per day, you can walk on sheer surfaces like walls. That's kind of cool. Oh, and see, this is once per day, and it lasts a certain amount of rounds, rather than just like, you know, an immediate use of something. You can walk on water for 1d4 rounds. When enemies you can see make a morale check. The DC is 18 instead of 15. That's kind of cool, but still nothing advantage on dexterity checks to hide, rather than just outright becoming invisible, I guess. Gain additional hit die, extra AC. You have advantage on dexterity checks to avoid entrapment or injury. No thanks. Paralyze a target with a weapon once per day, or triple damage of assassinate. Okay. So yeah, assassinate is you deal attack when you attack a surprise target, you deal double damage against it. Okay. So that way you have to set it up, and you have to essentially beat a perception check against a monster or whatever. And, you know, I have a joke here that I just wanted for weapons. I'm just going to put all blades, and, like, that's it, right? Like, Blademaster, yeah, you're never going to see him. No shields. No hammers. Blaze only. And so yeah, here is, yeah, right, Roskadai is a 1d8. Oh, they can only wear leather armor as well. Okay. So no invisibility, no mirror image. Okay. All blades. And now for when I wrote the Shadowdark little description here, I tried to, you know, keep it. What did I do? Because I had also converted the trolls to a playable race as well. Hello, Twin Steel. Glad to have you aboard. We're making some custom classes here. Trying to convert a Warcraft 3 champion to Shadowdark and see if we can do it, and then we'll put it up for free. Yeah, and so I was, when I converted the troll race over to Shadowdark, you know, I tried to make up my own little Shadowdarky type in-worlds description here for the trolls. And, you know, trolls are already like a monstrous enemy in Shadowdark, so I sort of, you know, came up with a little blurb about some sort of unknown god or deity, you know, bestowing intelligence upon a particular race of trolls, and, you know, thus they're more civilized and less monstrous, if you will. But yeah, their special ties with that Shadow Dancer class specifically. Yeah, for Blademaster, yeah, so I guess they're known for worshipping demons or something. So maybe we'll have something like that. Like, once again, I'm trying not to go too hard into the Roskadai's toes. You know, it's cool that there are no diabolic, but I don't want to steal their thunder and make it seem like, oh yeah, why would I play this one over that? You gotta try to change it up a little bit. Yeah, and he's only gonna know only blades, right? And like I was saying before earlier in the stream, I think I'm gonna bump the hit points up too. Maybe, and I'm also, as I was musing to myself at the start of the stream, is also deciding on when we have some of these abilities in Shadowdark. For instance, here, for the Roskadai, they get Smoke Step. It's 3 times per day. They can use the Wizard's Misty Step spell, essentially, right? Whereas, like, if you compare something like the Ranger, they have a bunch of abilities, but they are essentially like ones you have to roll for every time, so you're not even guaranteed that first use ever. Where the Roskadai, you know, they only got 3 charges, but it's definitely going to happen. So it's a little more reliable in that sense, but yeah, it's, you know, they don't get as many uses, and I guess that depends on how well or what sort of combat style they're sort of, you know, attached to. Absolutely no hammers, exactly, yes. I don't know if spears counts as blades. No pokies. It's gotta be a spear. If the blade is, you know, whatever, like over like a foot long, then it's officially like a blade at the end of it. I don't know if there's a classification there or cut off. All right. And so I was going through the Blademaster abilities here from the old game just to see what we could convert, and we got, I'll zoom in here on my little thing. A wind walk, it becomes invisible, then you deal extra damage. Mirror image, I think I'm just gonna steal the wizard's wizard's mirror image spell. I don't know if I'll make it 3 times per day because it's a pretty strong spell. I guess it is dependent on level, but we'll see. But I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, wizard spell, we're gonna reuse that somehow. Critical strike. Now this is the fun one, and y'all. Yeah, we got some people in here in chat now. I don't know if y'all have any opinions on if increasing the critical range for classes in or weapons in Shadowdark is a big no-no or not. Let's say if I wanted to increase, their critical range from 20 to 19 to 20 for this character. I don't know if that's gonna break the game or something, but that's what we're trying to see. Okay. And then, yeah, his ultimate ability, Blade Storm, it's where he just turns into a little tornado and goes ham and attacks everything. And we're going to see if I can somehow turning into a capstone ability where a couple times per day, you know, can he just attack everything near him? We'll see. And nimble, if it has a blade, it's a blade. Cause some confusion during development. Seems like this guy is more of a sword than an axe fighter. Yeah, yeah. It's a blade, it's a blade. Yeah, does a blade have... Is it just the... It can't be curved? Well, yeah. Is it like the width of it? Or yeah, I guess if it's like how the blade is attached to the stick officially. That's interesting. Alright. And like I was also saying, if you look at all the pictures of this Blademaster, you know, look at him. He's got no shirt on. Like, he's... I don't know. Maybe I should even take away his leather armor. I don't know. And the some of the new Warcraft 3, I think in Reforged, which I'm not partial to. Yeah, this is the old version, and he's definitely got no shirt on. But in this new one, yeah, he's got like, you know, big old pauldrons. You know, the Warcraft pauldrons, of course. So I don't agree with this take on it as much. This is what I remember, the old version. So this is what I was gonna stick to. You know, more leather armor in this version. I called him a barbarian samurai. That's like our little inspiration phrase here, barbarian samurai. Yeah, he is buff, right? Yeah, he's not like a little Roskadai here. Not that the Roskadai are weak or something, but I didn't want him to. I wanted him to feel less of that sort of ninja samurai. I wanted to feel more barbarian samurai. Oh yeah, we think we should try it. Maybe if we give him all these tools and just take away his armor. I don't know. So yeah, they fight without armor, but they'll get invisibility, they'll get mirror image, and they'll get something else. Like, you know, maybe that would work. That would kind of be cool. And they get high critical. Be a really high risk, high reward class. I think that would kind of neat, actually, kind of push the to a limit. I don't know. We'll see. And I would give him more hit points too. Yeah, barbarian samurai, Viking samurai. There's a way to do that. Has anyone done that yet? So we need to come up with some sort of you know, I need a little description here. So like I just put likes blades here, but I had, you know, maybe some people like, you know, are like, well, that's not correct, you know, if I say the east, but I referred to, I think I made some like samurai swords in one supplement or whatever, and I said they're, you know, single age blades from the Far East or whatever. So I don't know if I can refer to samurai. Do they have the word samurai? Black-clad assassins who train from childhood. They gain their sorcerer's powers from legendary Black Lotus flower that was given to them by a demon. Well, that's pretty gnarly. I don't know if I can top that. Like I said, the original class, yeah, they definitely like drank demon blood, or they made some pacts with demons at one point. But that was like all of the orcs. That wasn't really exactly only Blademasters. All right, yeah. Well, thanks, Twin Steel. Yeah, you. Thanks for coming to hang out here for a minute and providing some cool feedback. Now, yeah, check back in the morning and we'll see what I was able to whip up here. And I'll keep doing updates for free. Yeah, it'll be a free class, so yeah, enjoy it. Hopefully, we'll come up with something neat. All right, so yeah, maybe yeah, this little paragraph here. How do I? What's to distinguish them away from demons exactly? Because demons are kind of cool. I won't do it again. Take them away. Oh, Adios, man. All right. What to get away from demons? Ate a black lotus flower. Maybe we'll let it come to us. We'll get this other down. We're thinking here. We're being a little risky. High risk, high reward. Armor, none. Buff boy, right? That's what we said. But we're gonna give him some more health. He's gonna be higher health than Ross. So I'll get 1d8 per level. War Tusk is there. If I was really fancy at tech, I would have that soundboard of all of the character's little quips. Let's see. So Yeah, I don't remember the Ross having any, maybe they can have, no, not even darts, right? No, they can't have that. Just only blades. They can throw daggers. If they want, they can throw daggers. Don't count. Languages, no diabolic. I don't want to just steal that outright. Maybe I'll just say that they learned it from orcs. Maybe we'll just say that this is like a particular clan of like orc way of the blade, or some East Mountain orcs or something, and this is what they do and train with, and so that way maybe they'll know orc over diabolical. I guess diabolical is a little more exotic. This way we're playing due respect to the orc language, or the orc inspiration for this anyway. So we'll just do that anyway. We'll go do it. Languages. How they spell diabolic. Orc. Do they just say? Let's see when it has any other ideas. Keep it here for now. So yeah, maybe dedicated to the mastery with. This is terrible. This is a paragraph. So yeah, we can't. I don't want to steal desert too much, because Raskadai's already got that desert vibe. So I was like, oh, mesas and plateaus. But I'm like, it's still that sort of mesa desert monastery thing that they had here. So I want to change it up here. I don't think that's gonna be wintry, but maybe. I'm thinking, how I want to describe more heath-like, sort of open steppe, maybe style of imagery here. They're an open steppe. It still works. We'll leave this paragraph here. I swear this is not its final form. Okay. So, yeah, so we're going to give him some more health. We're going to give him a bunch of abilities. Now the question is, still the number of times per day on one of these things or not, and how many, for which ones. I already did mirror image as a DC check, so I kind of almost want to just do it as a number of times per day. So we're gonna rock mirror image. Let's go steal from the wizard as a base, because they already kind of have a whole deal, and it's like you get a number of clones equal to your like half of your level or something. So that way it kind of levels up with you. And it's a level 2 spell, I believe. Here we go, mirror image. So you create a number of illusory duplicates of yourself equal to half your level rounded down. The duplicates surround you and mimic you. So I could just say cast the mirror image spell rather than trying to. Yeah, 3 times per day, teleport to a location with you. This does not use your action. So yeah, you create a illusory duplicate, see yourself, you will have a level rounded down. Yeah, so in another class I had made, I kind of stole this ability, but I made it a DC check, kind of like a spell, so it technically had infinite uses, as long as you could continue hitting that DC. Now I'm just wondering if I should try this out as a 3 times per day. Make it reliable. I guess if we want to do that, so that way he has to just calculate and manage that resource. I may even pull up in the Ranger here because I like looking at that example for how their abilities work. Because yeah, he just gets a slew of abilities. I'll open up the wrong one. And yeah, unlimited uses as long as he can roll high enough. I'm just wondering what's the proper trade-off here for all that. So here we go. Blah 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 blah. I mean, Bard has the same thing, but we're going for a little more attack class. So he just gets these abilities straight off the bat here, and he can do these all day as long as he hits these numbers when he rolls. And his capstone is pretty nice too, where you can choose to deal 12 damage with one weapon type of his choice. Very, very nice. I've seen someone wreck shop with this ability. So yeah, look, he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abilities, and they're all pretty amazing abilities. I've seen all these work pretty well. Seen some of them whiff. But oftentimes I've seen them work really well too. So yeah, he can do it as many times per day as long as he passes, and then once he fails, then he can't use it anymore. So, but for our little Blademaster class here, what amount do we want to have as DC checks, and what amount do we want to have as times per day? So obviously he's got just more built-in passives here. When you attack a surprise target, you'll double damage. That's relying on you being sneaky in order to properly do this, where yeah, I don't know if just increasing the critical range is broken or not. It would have to be play tested. I don't know if there's numbers to do with all that stuff too. But I think we just roll with this and see if we can make this work. So 3 times per day. How do they have the font here? Comma, teleport. Okay, okay. 3 times per day. Cast the is it can cast the Mirror Gem spell? I don't know if so like I said in the original Blademaster one, they have it to where once he attacks out of this invisible oh no, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. I'm thinking of the invisibility thing. And maybe that's the one to make 3 times per day. And then I'm just not being very original with all my class designs while using this mirror image multiple times. But whatever. Okay. So here's what I'm wondering. Critical strike. You deal I feel like I made this like needlessly long. Critical strike. Yeah, you deal critical damage on attack rolls with blades of 19 to 20. On a roll of 19 to 20. Or is it better to just say the... I mean, we understand what we're saying here. I can clean up the language here when we're all said and done. But yeah, critical strike, you just get a natural range increase. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I think we have kind of a glass cannon melee. You do critical damage and attack rolls. attacks with bladed weapons. (19 to 20). Okay, so yeah, we give them some criticals, we give them the mirror image, and maybe we give them that invisibility as well. What's the name of the? What was the name of it up here? Windwalk. We'll just steal that name there. Windwalk. Windwalk. Winked. Windwalk. Now here's the do any of. I guess we just make them 3 times per day. We're just gonna roll with it. How many does because Roskidai gets a Black Lotus, because yeah, who gets to teleport and assassinate. We replace assassinate with the critical thing, and we replace Smoky Step with mirror image. Maybe we could make that one the invisibility. I don't know if it's nice of us to give him a buff on the invisibility thing too. And yeah, the Black Lotus thing is like really cool. How everyone's class can be fleshed out a little differently. And yeah, I wonder if there's something we need to do for that here as well. Kind of get what's one little thing that can be a little more unique about this class. Kind of push it a little over the edge. But we'll go back here. Yeah, I wonder if walk. Oh man. Okay, 3 times per day. We're just gonna, for now, just maybe a DC, maybe even lower. Let me go check so let's look at invisibility here, because I want to know. Yeah, so 10 rounds here, and the Hobbit's definitely not 10 rounds, right? It's like 3 rounds or something. 10 rounds, 3 rounds. Let's see. That'd be kind of cool. What if we just... Maybe we don't give him the bonus after invisibility just because he's already got the natural critical range. And... Although I guess Assassinate's better because you're not having to score critical to get double damage, and then if you do score a natural critical, is then technically like 4 times the damage? I guess that's how it's written. Whereas in our way, yeah, I guess you get to attack with, you'll get to attack with advantage because you are invisible. So that will give you that extra chance of scoring it, and yeah, your criticals are not going to be as big, but they'll definitely be more often. And criticals being more often is always fun. So I guess that's what we're really leaning into here. Maybe we, since criticals are a deal here, you naturally got up to 10% chance of scoring a critical. So maybe every time you score a critical, maybe we can, you'd be like, roll this extra chart. You can, every time you score a critical, roll the critical chart, and you'll get like a little extra buff, or a little, you know, second wheel deal, like you get some health back, or maybe you get a luck token, or maybe you get like a free attack right after that, or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. That way you can kind of, you know, feel like you really did something in that moment, and maybe try to really do that risk reward thing for being such a squishy character. And we'll have to really see how that works out for people. Because maybe some dungeons you'll be able to just walk through it. That's why the DC thing is maybe where we need to go with this. Maybe keep one of those abilities 3 times per day and one of them is not. Okay. So yeah, critical buff chart. And that will be what's kind of fun with this character, is every time you score a critical, you get a little doohickey, a little gift, a little present. So wind walk. Oh yeah. So invisibility for the class, for the spell. I'm sorry, was 10 rounds. Hobbit is, or halfling, whatever. Once per day, 3 rounds. So I think we just make it 3 rounds. 10 rounds is too long. 3 times per day. You can go invisible for 3 rounds. I think that's fair. And we'll, just like the wizard spell, we'll, sorry for giving you a headache for scrolling through this, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, here we go. And just like the invisibility spell here, we'll make it to where if you attack, the spell ends if the target attacks, instead of staying invisible. The ability if you attack. There you go. Invisibile. Invisibi. Oh lord. Okay, there we go. So 3 times per day you can go invisible for 3 rounds. Ability ends if you attack. 3 times per day you can cast the mirror dimension spell without a spell casting check. So that, hopefully that reads properly. Anyone can double check me if I've got another idea. And is that, oh yeah, okay, and then, yeah, here we go. Although I really don't want to make, I guess mirror image might be a DC spell. Blades. Do we just do this once per day? Yeah, what about that? What do we do? Because it's just kind of like the Black Lotus. I think that's fair. And that way they can kind of position and find that momentum in here and figure out how to carry through it. So once per day. You can attack all enemies within close distance for 1d4 rounds. Yeah, so that way you get to try to run in there, and yeah, if you get maybe pop out of your invisibility, and you're just gonna try to like crit farm, you know. And I think and we're gonna increase that with the capstone here. And then every time you score a critical, maybe you get a little thing, and you're trying to get that stuff because you need it, because yeah, you're kind of a squishy guy. All right, I think I like what we're doing here. So yeah, what if for this capstone here, either increase critical range by 1 or uses a blade storm by 1. I think, is that fair? I think that's fair. So yeah, when you roll Snake Eyes and rolling up, you can either choose to increase this critical range so that it becomes like 18 to 20 or 17 to 20 maybe if you get it rolled more than once. Or you can choose to increase your uses of Blade Storm by 1. Increase critical range by 1 or uses of Blade Storm by 1. Or Blade Storms. Am I writing that correctly? We need to increase critical range by 1 or Blade Storm's uses by 1. Maybe we need to give him extra health here. Juice, maybe gain an additional use with either wind, walk, or gain an additional use with either windwalk or mirror image, so that we can use your base abilities a little more. Wish we can increase that his speed, but I think double near speed is kind of broken. Or is it? Maybe he need that way he can kind of get away. I think that way he can save that use and get away. You can go invisible for 3 rounds and three times per day you can go invisible for 3 rounds and gain movement speed. And gain movement speed double near. The ability ends if you attack. Critical strike. Attacks with bladed weapons deal critical damage on rolls of 19 or 20. Alright. So these would be pretty self-explanatory. Melee or range. Yeah, he's pretty much only going to be doing range. Strength, dex, or intelligence. 2. Okay, so we'll keep it there. He doesn't really use anything else. +1 to melee and attack range attacks. Maybe it's gotta be just melee attacks, right? Is he ever even gonna have excuse to really use range bladed? I don't foresee this ever being a range thing, so I feel like we should just take that out. +1 to melee attacks. Or, I feel like there's an or somewhere in here. +1 to and damage? Oh, yeah, we should do that. I'll just write that. +1 to melee attacks and damage. Sure it rolls here? Nope. +1 to melee or range attacks and damage. +1 to melee attacks and damage. That works. Yeah, I think this is pretty solid. I think this is kind of interesting. I wonder if there's another. So yeah, they know all this sort of. Yeah, that makes sense being on the open steppe. It's kind of neat. I don't know what else I can really add. For thinking. You know, open steppe, samurai orc barbarians. That's where you learn this stuff. They become one with the wind. They're very precise attackers. Yeah, but they can also go into a frenzy, do the blade storm thing. The barbarian. Of the barren windy steppe. And what's the other word they like to use for not conniving? Sometimes it could be sort of positive. Cunning. I already wrote cunning. Cunning, ruthless, and not furious, but we'll add that a little later. I just feel like there's another roleplay thing here that'd be kind of unique for this. I don't know if it needs to necessarily be demon. Kind of like the idea of always things associated with some sort of like entity. Like I'm a sucker for gods and that sorts of nature. We kind of need to have an orc storm god or orc wind god, and that's how they're obtaining these powers, or the essence that they're tapping into in a sorts. That'd be kind of neat. I don't know how to force players to do that. Roskadai, like I said, kind of has the cool like Black Lotus and that sort of indication of your allegiance, I suppose. What would it be for our blade boys here? Yeah, 'cause well, I'm hemming and hoeing here. Let's just look at some other classes for some ideas here. I always like doing that. We can always look at some similar classes. So yeah, here's a class with some. He's got some spells straight up. All melee weapons and crossbow. Demonic possession 3 times per day. He can add a lot of bonuses to his stuff, and he gets spells. Let's see what Pit Fighter has. Flourish. Regain 1d6 when you hit an enemy with a melee attack. Is that? Oh yeah, here we go. That's kind of cool. I didn't just seeing that Flourish can give you more health back. Sorry, I'm like rotating out of camera here. Okay. Relentless 3 times per day when reduced to 0. Yeah, less than you get from dying with 1 on a natural d20 of 18 to 20. Okay. Yeah, Pit Fighter's so. Now, see, it's like crit fishing, but with like not dying. I wish there was a way that you can increase that. Ignore all damage inflicted from 1 attack once per day. It's kind of cool. Yeah, Last Stand. Once, yeah, you can have a much, 50% chance of getting up from death. Very nice. Play cool. You have advantage on Constitution checks to resist injury, poison, or endure extreme environments. This is kind of what I'm wondering here. Something like this, an advantage on an ability for a range of skills involved with this class. All day, a little closer now to find your way. Question is, what ability and what exact checks and what flavor encapsulates these Barren Steppe warriors? It's like they're, imagine orcs, and all they do is grow up with the sound of Akira Kurosawa's that high intensity wind. What would really make sense of that? What if, you know, a lot of abilities I got in my head. So it's not an ability that gave more movement speed, but we already gave that to him. If we want to keep it with Windwalk here, and movement speed becomes double in the air. Got my jungle playlist going here. Alright, let's see. Misty Barren Steppe Warrior. Dedicated to Orc Wind God. What would be neat? Dexterity checks? Constitution, just so we can give him some more survivability? Maybe... Maybe some way to alter his AC. Since he's not wearing the armor. What if we just did one with the wind? Natural AC is 11. Increases AC by 1. Because normal AC is 10 plus your dexterity mod. And so maybe we'll just bump it by 1. Give him a little more. Give him that little extra point of survivability I hear with the Blademaster. Okay. So, but now we want to copy this critical chart, I think. We could do it by level if I wasn't feeling lazy. But I think this is kind of a good start here. I think this is something interesting. One with the wind. But I feel like, yeah, because... I'd like it to be a little bit of some roleplay here too, rather than just constant stat mechanics. Not that that's bad. Natural AC is 11 plus dexterity. First one I want to write your. One with the wind. Your natural AC is 11. Is there another? There's another ability name we can steal here from the official stuff. Blade Storm, Critical Strike. Nope. For just looking at here for the Warcraft 3, I guess it's not going to show us anything. It'll be fine. Keep it for now. If I think of anything better, we can switch it out. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip ahead in my giant Canva thing and try to find, yeah, maybe on the do-do-do list is a Brewmaster class, and I got some ideas for that. Another Warcraft 3 class. Y'all can actually steal some of this stuff because some of this is paid product, if any of you actually watch this. We'll copy paste. I should have just saved the thing here. Oh, I can I'll go over here to my thing and go black for a second as I copy and paste this material here, so I don't have to totally reuse a bunch of stuff. Oh, we still have to do titles for this. Okay, so critical hit chart for now, unless we come up with a fancier name. And let me just erase all these, and then we're going to be back on the screen. I'm just trying to clear out some old content that I do have for sale as a princess class. If I was really proud of this one, and it's really just the second page, I think. That's maybe not that I'm asking the 99 cents for on DriveThruRPG. If you would like to support the channel, you can go get in the links down below in the description. But otherwise, I'm just redoing this here thing real quick, and we can resume. Okay, so all I did was clear out a bunch of other old text. So type Blademaster class back in here. Here's this critical chart, and every time you roll a critical, you can roll one of these bad boys. So effect. I don't know why I thought of this, but pretty samurai. Try to move all these real quick. Gotta zoom in to make sure that they're really in line. Oh no. And you know, I've tried using Adobe InDesign before, and it was just such a headache. I just hated using it. I was able to make one adventure, and it took forever. And this Canva software is just much more user-friendly, unfortunately. Even though you do have to pay a subscription, but it is kind of worth what I do here. So, yeah, we're going for every time you hit a critical, you get to roll this, and here's some of the things you get to do. This will be cool. So, just get spitballing some ideas here at the top of my head. So yeah, if you score a critical, and we got a squishy guy, he likes his HP. He's probably gonna be hit a lot. So the question is, yeah, if his AC is ridiculously low, so he's really gonna like getting his health back. I have a wacky idea here. Although this is still random, I guess yeah, you don't get to choose the effect. So that does get to hinder some of its usefulness. I guess most of this stuff is... I think it'll be okay. We'll see how this goes. So yeah, blood drain. Here's what I'm thinking. Heal half your missing HP. It'd be kind of nice to get half your health back. Half your missing, yeah, half your missing health back. Momentum. I want some more room. Let's move everything over. So momentum. Yeah, if we score a critical, let's see if can move up to your speed and attack. Make one attack. Yeah, you're already dead. I kind of have thought of this name as, you know, those moments in samurai ninja movies where, you know, they do the go past each other and you don't even realize you're already dead sort of type moment here. And I guess that would just mean a bunch of damage. So, yeah, score this triple damage. I guess we would just do double, because doubling a cripple is already really nice. And make another attack instead. Yeah, I just want, I think another, and make one. It can move up to your speed and make one attack. Yeah, so this, once again, we're still looking at Blademaster. He's a very squishy character, no armor, but he's got some interesting tools here based on the Warcraft 3 champion. And yeah, his critical strike here, he's got a natural wider range from 19 to 20 to deal criticals, and every time he deals a critical, he can get an extra buff. So we're trying to make sure that maybe this incentivizes him to get out there and attack, fish for those criticals. You know, I like temper HP. What if I wrote, gave him like a clone on the spot, maybe? That way he can just get a free attack off of him, you know? That way that way it's always referring back to his stuff that he's already got, like mirror image. Let's get some names in here. What else can he do from a critical? It's been about a little over an hour here, so maybe we'll give it another 15 minutes and then we'll probably call it a night here. I think this is a great start. I'd play this character. Let's see. What else would be really fun on a critical other than just massive damage? We could look at the, I got my Dungeon Master's Guide screen for Dungeon Crawl Classics. Crit table. All wizards. Someone falls into your attack. Bash their ankles. Crit table, 0 level, and all wizards. Why is it? Oh, whatever. It doesn't really have. Lucky strike disarms the foe. You gain a free attack if the enemy stoops to retrieve it. Solid torso strike, extra damage. Someone falls prone. Strike to the groin. Make someone go blind. Yeah, I think we're trying to think about ways of keeping this character alive in this case. Maybe can go yeah, score a critical strike and can go invisible. I think that'd be kind of cool. So fade. Yeah, become invisible. I think that's neat. follow-up. Nearby ally can make an attack on the same target. So it's like kind of open up an attack option for somebody else. And I guess nearby ally, target ally within near. Target ally within near distance can make a free... I guess we'll just use the advantage of this open space here. That makes sense. So the target you just hit, a buddy of yours can now make a free attack. Target ally within near distance can make a free attack against the same target. Okay. Let's see. That way someone else can get you out of there. Maybe you're clean something up. Gain 1 free mirror clone. Gain 1 page, blah, 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 blah. Mirror image is on page 65. Oh, duration at 5 rounds. So yeah, you create a number of illusory duplicates. Okay. Gain 1. Yeah, so through a critical strike, you get one of your mirror images back. I think that makes sense. How about Sunder? I don't know. This might be broken. I don't know. Lowers the... Lowers the AC of the target by 1. So we're kind of shredding someone's armor. Okay. Oh, I just kind of thought of something interesting. What about a passive for Blademaster? Once again, this is kind of encroaching on blasphemous territory here. But what about Blademasters with all blades can choose to roll with dexterity or strength? They would just be straight dex dumping though. Or not dumping, but maxing. I think we need to keep the strength. Don't even worry about that, Brady. Okay, so target makes a strength check versus... Target makes a strength check versus you or else falls prone. Sunder. What's something that were you just overwhelming? Man, my text is not gonna fit in here. Maybe we'll just type in overwhelm. Yeah. Sundered, overwhelm. All right, 2 more. Can we do 2 more? I'd like to maybe do D12, but maybe this one, maybe, well, yeah, it's like if we have a really nice core of abilities or set things that you can rely on from scoring these criticals, because I would want any of these to kind of feel like, ah, yes, like that's what I needed, like no matter what it was. Maybe even Sunder needs to be better. Oh, what about that? What about that? What about for Sunder? Target makes con check versus I'm like typing all over the place here. If I scoot this stuff down. Oh no. Put that back. I gotta grab my other 8 there. Graphical. Oh no. Difficulties. Target makes con check versus your or has its AC lowered by 1. Target makes con check versus your last attack roll or has its AC lowered by 1. Yeah, so if you rolled really high. Well, yeah, because yeah, they're gonna have to beat a 20 or whatever. Because yeah, I guess that would be fair in case it's like a really, really Tarrasque monster. You're probably not gonna get to lower an AC on, but there's a chance. But that way, those monsters would make a lot of less sense to be able to do that. Let's just look. I like looking at the really crazy monsters and high monsters, and let's see if that feels like it's gonna be fair. So we'll skip all the way down here to the monsters. Close the stream up in about 7 minutes. Mordanticus the Flayed. Yeah, this is the mummy guy. Okay, so he's got a constitution of +4. Level 19, his AC is 17. Wow, okay. So yeah, he's got to be rolling. If you already get a critical, so you're probably already rolling like a 23. He's gonna have to get a critical in order to not have that happen. Otherwise, probably any other creature, it's like definitely going to happen. So it's like rolling a strength or constitution check sort of moot. I guess unless they roll a nat 20, and then they're definitely going to have their AC reduced, it seems. It could be pretty cool though. And it's not going to happen that often, I can't imagine. You got to get a crit, and then you got to roll this one. Yeah, he gets to try. I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. Once again, with the overwhelm too, I should just probably. That way you can really knock down a very large creature. He's a Blademaster after all. Right, just fall down, Tarrasque. This target makes a strength check versus your attack. We'll just write target falls prone if it don't know if they say your last attack roll, because I'm trying to think of like spellcasting checks. Phraseology. Overwhelmed. Target falls prone. It fails a strength check versus your last attack roll. Versus your attack roll. Two more? One more? Two more? Shadowdark RPG, page 65. Oh, yeah, that's what we should do. God's favor. Gain 1 luck token, right? That was one that we said should probably on the list. And one last one. What's the last one going to be? Come on. Come on, we got 3 minutes. I can make up one more critical chart thing here. Maybe we should rename follow-up to something else, and I can make follow-up for the next one. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll call it... Maybe we'll call this one combo with your target ally. We'll call this one follow up. Your next melee, your next attack roll has advantage. I'll just write it like that. Do they write it lowercase? Yeah. All right, I think we did it. So this is our bare bone class that we just created on the spot for some fun. On a random Woden's dog. It's Woden's day. In case you didn't know, for this fine Wednesday evening. Okay, so yeah, we have this kind of squishy class. Squishy because he can't wear any armor. No shields. He can only use blades. And yes, he does have a slightly higher AC. I don't know if there's a better way of phrasing this. There might be a better way of giving this to. Definitely and open for suggestions. I want this to be, like I said, an orc homage class because it is based on the orc champion from Warcraft 3. So yeah, he's got mirror image he can do 3 times per day. The wizard spell casting. The wizard spell. And then Windwalk, he can essentially do Hobbit invisible for 3 rounds, and he gets more movement speed, so that way he can escape from hairy situations. Are we gonna make Blademaster one word? I think we're gonna make it one word. Critical strike. Oh, we didn't do any of the titles. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna have to redo all those at some point. These are all the ones I had for the princess. Your Lady Highness Blademaster. I'll definitely do this before I post it up on drive-thru. Although that would have been a good one to have chat help me brainstorm for him, because some of those titles are not easy to come up with. That's some of like the really hard stuff actually. So you have this Blademaster who wants to go crit fishing. On a critical hit, roll on the or we should call it critical strike table. Maybe we need to rename critical strike to something else, because I hate using the word critical over and over again. On a critical, roll on the critical strike table. All right. I think that was pretty successful. And when I do these little class covers, I usually just use stock art because, you know, I'll do some photo bashing, of course, but you know, I do what I can until the great, amazing, the basic expert puts out some more free art, or I actually get some money to use so I can pay Aaron, my good buddy, to do some more art for me again, and do some more projects like we did on the Valhalla design. In case you need some more content for your Shadowdark stuff and you need some Viking material, maybe using runes as a way, as a real divination method in your game. It's like a little system I have where you can use dice, or you could use your own runes in case you have them, to simulate a session with a seer. But yeah, so like I said, it's definitely this class is supposed to be a barbarian samurai. I'm not sure how to make this a wider one. That'd be kind of interesting if I could figure out how to make it more distorted. We need we want a really like thick boy samurai sword. This one looks a little better. Oh, maybe not. How do we have it in the yeah, single edge blade. Just kind of like in our thumbnail there, right? Oops, make it a little bigger here. Something like that. I could go through and try to find some gnarlier ones, probably. See if there's one that really matches with what I have in mind. Nothing here really looks like the Blademaster that I would really like, but this one probably do okay. Doesn't look as curvy because I don't think it's gonna be as, he's got a little more straight blade. But alright, y'all, thanks so much for stopping by. Check out the Drive-Thru RPG links, or check back through on the you know, any posts that I make in case I update it or not. If you find this on Drive-Thru RPG, you can find the stream that I'll maybe have this little creation as one of the links in there, so you can kind of see as a little community event as I try to convert some classes from a video game into something fun and unique for Shadowdark here, because I just think the Shadowdark language and system is so fun to adapt to and to work around and to figure out how to use those limitations in order to make an engaging class with. Because, you know, we could go endlessly, I feel like, for the 5e class about endless, you know, 5e, 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 you know, ability, bonus actions and reactions and all that stuff. But here, you know, we're trying to figure out when to use a DC to check and when, how many times per day, and if not that, and you know, maybe these 3 times per day needs to be hacked down some. Maybe the wind walk needs to be 1 times per day, or maybe mirror image needs to be 1 time per day. Mirror image is 3 times for free cast. It's a level 2 spell, so I guess a wizard would be able to. Yeah, it would need to be play tested more just to see exactly how this all kind of actually popped off. But I think that we can leave it here. If you want to, you know, refer to this video for the class before I post it and finalize it and put it on DriveThruRPG, we'll need to come up with some titles for this class. Like I said, that's kind of like the hard part for me, is come up with all these. And I need to flesh out a more provocative passage here. Like I said, we're trying to think of barbarians, samurais that are from the open steppe, trying to move away from the Roskadai desert monastery because I didn't want to steal that. Try to think of something that was a little more, you know, not Mongol Empire, because that's not really quite it either, but just trying to think of like a different locale. The Blasted Heath, think of, you know, like I said, they're from a place where it's all they hear ever all the time is Akira Kurosawa's Howling Winds, that just all day long. And you know, so they're ruthless barbarian samurai worshiping some sort of wind storm god of some sorts, and it's very tightly orc focused, I want to say. I want to really lean into that orc lineage of this class, since it is based so much on that Blademasters from Warcraft 3. See, no shirt, no armor. Look, he's got like cloth pants. He's wearing like an extra stick, you know, banner on his back, so that when everyone know when they see that banner that they're shirtless boys out there just kicking ass. Yeah, see? He just got more blades. They're like samurai, but they're like barbarian samurai. You see what I'm saying? How can we do barbarian samurai, is what I've been asking. See, it's not really a proper samurai sword. It's like a, you know, really rusticy orc looking stuff. This is the image that I want to capture, you know? Not limited to orcs, but orcs definitely like this class. See, but they can be introspective too. Once again, yeah, trying to figure out the vibe or the proper Shadowdark conversion. Maybe dedicated to the mastery with blades. These warriors hail from the barbarian horde tribes of the barren windy steppe, cunning and ruthless. Something. That's where I need help finishing this passage, or would be the extra, the oomph to push it over the edge, and some of that cool shadow darkness. Because like I said, the Roskadai has the Black Lotus that sort of shows their allegiance or their uniqueness, and I think that's a really cool flourish there. I need to figure out what I can add here for something like that. Raised by witches? Raised by... as cunning as they are ruthless, are trained in the arts by their matron... by their matron witches. As cunning as they are ruthless, and trained in the arts of black magic by their matron witches. Something like that? Witches, I feel like there's a extra compound I like to add to the end of that. Witch... Cunning as they are ruthless. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, writing that wrong. Trained in the arts of black magic by their matron witches. Maybe that would be its own class too. I like that idea. Specifically, orc type warlocks or sorcerers. Yeah, this paragraph has to be worked on. Yeah, and maybe something with this one with the wind, because yeah, it's such a squishy character, and we try to bump up their AC. I need to look at some of those new classes from the Western Marches and see how they pair up to this. But yeah, I think this is an excellent start. I may poke around on this and see if anybody leaves any comments here. I guess we'll be signing out here. Thanks so much for stopping by, though, as we wrap this little stream up. I'll try to think of another Warcraft 3 class to do this for, because yeah, I think this is just kind of a fun exercise and wondering about game balance and game philosophy, and specifically these classes about how to design it, and as I've been saying ad nauseum this whole time about when to make something per day, when to make something a DC check and all that stuff, or opening up critical ranges, broken or not. I guess we'll have to see in gameplay. Hopefully we balance, giving him all this critical stuff by making him sort of vulnerable here. Kind of likes to get in and get out in guerrilla warfare. But he wants to stay around too. If he can fish those criticals and he can keep momentum of all of his damage and stuff like that going on. So I think there's some interesting gameplay opportunities with this class. But alright, everyone, you take care tonight. Keep crafting out there with all your games, and check back on the next video. We will see you on the next one. Adios, everyone.